Good afternoon, Adam here at Board at Home. In today's unboxing we are taking a look at Mountains of Madness from Yellow Games. This is a team-based game based on the Lovecraft short story in which you are exploring different locations on the mountain, a bid to get to the top and escape with your team. Along the way you will be obtaining certain relics and artifacts. And unfortunately there's some bouts of madness going around as well, so you may not all make it out quite sane, but even if you do escape, depending on how well you've done, we'll actually let you know if you've completed the game, like won the game. So it's not just a simple race against the game. So we'll go through the components now. So first up we have our rule book here. So in the rule book, it's really nice and clearly laid out. We've got quite a few pages on the setup, but it does explain very well. But it's worth reading. And then we've got the initial setup here. As you can see, apart from a few bits for the players, like your hands and your player boards, everything does go on the game board. It all has a spot there. So we'll take a look at that when we get a bit closer. And then we've got our gameplay there. Yeah, so that's the rule book. So we'll go into our game board next. So this is quite a large game board, so we won't be able to get the whole thing in, but we'll show you the top of the mountain first. So you can see there, you've got the different locations. We've got our equipment deck that will go up here. We've got our escape tiles. Here we've got the discard for our equipment. We have some of our locations. You see we've got the city there. We've got the Edge of Madness tile, and then over here you've got your injury, arcane equipment and relic decks that go there. On the bottom half we got the base of the mountain, as well as a space for our timer, so you are timed on your actions in this game, and then our madness cards. There we go. So next up are our player boards. So we have one sled board which is given to the starter player. This will hold your cards that you win throughout the game and your leadership tokens. And then we have our player boards as well. So these are 5 different characters, well 10, because on the other sides you have female characters as well. And as you can see here, it just gives you a rundown of the phase and then the different symbols there, and that is the same on all of these here. So next up is our madness cards. So as we go mad throughout the game, we pick these up, and then these will force us to do certain things. So here we only speak in rhyme. What else have we got here? There may be something under the table. I need to check before playing any cards. You see the kind of silly little things that it makes you do. I only speak by asking questions. I cannot speak. Your friends will be relieved for 30 seconds. There we go. I think my wife would be relieved if I couldn't speak. I walk around the table. Yes, for 30 seconds. Don't cheat. So you can see here that these are quite amusing, but they also hinder the communication and gameplay. There we go. I replace numbers with the corresponding month of the year. So we're fighting against our own minds as well as the actual game itself. Here we have our injury deck, and then we have our equipment. So these are numbered and have their different suits, which is the different equipments. And then we'll be needing to use these throughout the game when we need to overcome different locations. And then here we've got our specimens and our relics and the like. That's those there. We have these little tiles. These ones here, if I can bring those up. And what happens with these is they are actually placed on your board. So when you draw certain cards, these will go over them like so, and would obscure that from your boards, for example, which means that you can't use those things. And there's a whole host of those. We've got a timer as well. So as I said earlier in the game, you are timed during your rounds, so it's not a thing that you can take all the time in the world on. Here we have our penalty die, so if we're unable to complete one of the locations, so meeting the prerequisites, then we will roll on the penalty die, and this is eventually what makes us go mad. We have our leadership tokens, so these are used throughout the game to kind of get us out of jams. They can be depleted. And then we've got our various locations here. On the back, it will tell you exactly what kind of locations. We've got coast there, the Edge of Madness tile. And then it will give us a little bit, as you can see on these ones, just a little bit of storyline as well. And there's a whole variety of these, which means that not all of them get used in the game. So there's a bit of variability to it. And we've got our escape tiles here. And these are our final hurdle, our final encounter. And we use 3 of these, so these are all shuffled up as well. And finally we have our plane, which we're using to navigate the rugged mountainscape and ultimately try and escape. So that is everything in the box there. If you like what you saw there, it is in the library, and we will actually be using this as one of the games on our theme nights on Wednesdays. If you head over to our Facebook page, you can go to the events tab and check it all out there, get signed up. This requires 5 players for it. So if you're interested, put your name down there or pop into the shop or phone us on 01843 316 281 to get your spot secured. Beyond that, it's available in the library at all times anyway, so if you can't make it in on the Wednesday but you and your friends fancy playing, just pop down to the shop anytime we are open and give it a crack. Let me know what you think of the game. I want to hear some stories about this one. That is everything for now. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the boardroom.